Hi, Dr. Meg here. Today I want to talk about our buyers, our customers. It's really important to understand your customers if you actually want to take control of your breeding business. Who are they? What are they like? What sort of owners do they make? Where do they hang out? What sort of prices are they likely to pay? And why should you care? These are some of the things we're going to talk about today. So there are three kinds of puppy buyers out there. The first type of puppy buyer is buying on a whim. These guys hang out on sites like Craigslist and Gumtree, you know, those general classified sites where typically the puppies are cheaper than they are elsewhere, and they happen across a cute puppy and then they get excited and go, wow, that's just down the road and it's only $700. How about we get a new puppy? What do you reckon, guys? Let's go, right? So it's basically buying puppy on a whim. I call them my whim buyers. They are attracted to a low price, a puppy available right now. They haven't put very much thought into it, and frankly, they make the less committed owner because they haven't put much energy into it. They haven't even bothered preparing. They're just winging it. It's easy come, easy go. They don't want to pay much for it. They're just attracted to a cheap price available right now. Let's buy on a whim. So if you're selling under $1,000 in the US, for example, under $1,000 a puppy, then you're going to mainly be attracting the whim buyer. And if you are in that market, then you are probably going to be quite worried about the quality of the homes, and you might have a process that you put people through quite rightly to try to figure out whether or not they're actually going to make good buyers and good owners, more importantly, for your puppies. Now, the next kind of buyer that I see out there, I call them my emotional buyers. So these guys, they do a lot more preparation and looking around before they buy a pup. So they go looking on the dedicated puppy sites. They have actually decided that they want a puppy and they want it now. They're often quite under-informed. They are fairly ignorant of some of the issues that can go with getting a puppy in the longer term. They don't realise that there's a huge difference from one breeder to another. They just don't realise that, and they think a puppy is a puppy, right? But they do have some conditions and they have thought about it a bit. So, for example, they don't want to buy from a puppy mill or support a puppy mill, that kind of thing. So they go on puppy sites, they look for breeders who've at least had their ID verified, and they're willing to pay between $1,000 and $2,000 for a puppy. But they want it now. They're buying emotionally. They don't want to wait. And, you know, they can't tell the difference from one breeder to another on those directories anyway. So they will look for a puppy that's available now, and they're willing to pay a little bit more just to make sure that it does come from a reputable source, at least not a puppy mill, right? They usually make pretty good owners, and you usually don't have to worry too much about the sort of home, the quality of home that your puppy's going to end up with these buyers. Though they might, because they don't put a lot of research into their decision, they might, for example, be getting a breed that's not suitable for them because they just like the look of it, for example. They might think she'll be right, we'll be able to organise, we'll be able to deal with this. So you do have to help them to make sure that they are making the right decision in that case, so that you can sleep well at night. Now, my favourite kind of buyer are people that I call the discerning buyer. Now, what sets these guys apart is that they put a lot of research into the decision. They see getting a puppy as a really massive decision, as everyone should, because they know they're going to live with it for the next 10 to 15 years. And wish my dog would stop barking. Anyway, you dog breeders can handle that, hey? So they realise that there is a big difference between the quality of puppy from one breeder to another. They do their research. And where do they hang out? They hang out on Google. They're doing their research. They want to make sure that they've covered all their bases, that they can be assured their puppy is healthy, that it's the right choice for them, the right breed for them. So they're very discerning people. They are willing to wait for the right puppy because they're not in a mad rush. It's not a whim, it's not an emotional decision, not like the whim buyer and the emotional buyer. And they are prepared to pay more for what they consider to be value that the breeder has added to the puppy. Because what we do as breeders makes a huge difference, right? And they know that. These guys are happy to pay between $2,000 and $4,000 for a run-of-the-mill average breed, and a lot more for more expensive breeds. They're the ones you should be aiming for. They're the ones you don't have to lose sleep at night worrying about the quality of the home that your puppies are going into. So next week I'll be talking about how to understand the discerning buyers and how to attract them onto your wait lists for your puppies. So tune in for that. Bye for now.